For the first time in Coach Ty's tenure with Kent State, they enter a game not being the underdog. On the road in Delaware facing the Blue Hens, they are by far the favored team. And the Blue Hens were one of the many group of 6 teams that were shredded when it came to the transfer portal in the offseason. Before those that stuck around and that were brought in, it has been a rough start. Starting 0-2 and the leader of your offense throwing less touchdowns than he is interceptions, while at the same time only hitting on 42% of his throws. Blake Brown is the senior of this group, a redshirt senior. He doesn't have any accuracies above an 80. Meanwhile, he does have a pretty strong arm. He has some ability to move around in the pocket, but not much is expected of him in that category. Instead, they have a 3-headed attack with Greg Speiler, the redshirt sophomore, Daniel McConomy, another redshirt sophomore, and the true freshman 3-star in CJ Hennessy. Despite only having 3 carries on the year, he is tied as the leading touchdown rusher for the Blue Hens with McConomy. But it is Greg Speiler who leads them in average yards a carry, just over 4.5. While the passing game for them has struggled, they have 3 players picking up a lot of yards per catch, so expect most passes to be downfield, with Nick Tyree, the redshirt sophomore, being their main threat downfield, averaging 21 yards a catch. And on top of that, has the most receiving touchdowns for the Blue Hens. Defensively, Delaware struggles, but Gavin Mole is their captain on defense, and he leads them in total tackles. And while Kent State is obviously the favored team here, they've had their own fair share of struggles. The passing game has been rough. The only team outside of Air Force to have played 2 games and be basically at the bottom of total passing yards. And that's despite Coach Ty doing a really good job in the offseason of improving this group. So Coach Ty told them, you guys get 3 receiving touchdowns and pass for 250, and in the next game, he will wear this ridiculous outfit. And keep in mind, he is not a button-up and tie type of guy. He far prefers his cutoff tee. So as we take the field in Delaware Stadium, Newark, Delaware, let's try to get this passing game going as Harris is back to return and will take the touchback. It'll be the 25 where we take the field. Tank Hawkins, a speedy guy, but has struggled out the gate. Just as Kelsey apparently struggles to realize what wrist his play sheet is on. But we take the field here, kicking off this game. Harris the back as he looks to find somewhere to go, a short gain. So far this year, he has been the main threat for this offense. They do look to go to the area. They got an open target across the middle, carrying. The tall frame goes up to get it. He's a tough man to overthrow. Kelsey nearly did, though, on that play. As he changes things up here at the 41, he's going to send Gaines over to the right-hand side. And it's going to be the triple option. It's flipped out to Harris, who does not get the move by the corner. Good open field tackle. So far this year, haven't seen too much success with that triple option as they had with Gavin Garcia last season. As Kelsey's trying to find somewhere to go, he will throw, but he misses his target quite wildly. Another high throw for the young quarterback, the freshman here for the Kent State Golden Flash, with a 3rd and 8. As they do look to go to the air, this ball is launched downfield for Tank Hawkins, who runs under it. 3rd and long, no problem. Golden Flash flash their way downfield for the go-ahead touchdown. 7-0, a strong way to polish off the opening drive, a deep ball touchdown as that ball traveled from the opposite 40 to about the 10, a 50-yard pass through the air. And for Coach Ty, that puts him one step closer to having to put on that button-up and tie. But Delaware's offense with Brown at quarterback takes the field first time today, and they hand it off with space down the middle. Economy has 8. He averages just around 4 yards a carry. Speiler will check in following with the RPO and hitting their target. Brown finds Kelly for a good gash on the defense to the 38. They come out with trips to follow. Throwing out right-hand side and shaking the tackle. It's going to be a big gain into plus side. For Monkwa, that's going to help him catch up to the freshman in terms of yards per catch. Going with a handoff here, Speiler through the gap. He picks up a hard-earned 6. So far for Kent State's defense, they're playing a little flat-footed. 2 receiver spread either side here for Brown. As they bring the blitz, passes out, broken up Rollison. Pass intended that time for Kelly. As it is 3rd and 4 here for the Blue Hens. Standing inside our 35. And there comes the sack. It's Jalen Thompson, the top recruit brought in via transfer portal here for Coach Ty, and he picks up a big sack. And apparently Delaware doesn't trust their kicker. That sack pushes them outside of field goal range, and they punt away here to our offense as Harris finds a little bit more space this time. Picking up a gain of 3 on first down. It's 2nd and 7 to the 16. Bunch look to the right-hand side and thrown underneath. That's Hawkins putting on the spin move, and a good burst forward picks up an extra 5. That leaves him with 2 grabs, 67 yards and the previous touchdown. Now at the 25, where you typically try to start your drives. Thrown again underneath. That's Taylor, tight end 2 with a gain of 11. All right, now Kelsey catching his groove. That is going to be big here for this offense. As they go back to that triple option, it's flipped out Harris. This time he's got space. Gets the juke on the corner, and he's got a gain of about 14. He's one of those running backs that he might not get the big run every play, but a couple times a game he will pop up for a big run. As they do look to go back to him here, he's down the middle for a gain of 6. It looks like after a couple of carries, he will catch his breath. Instead, Martin and Gaines hit the field with Bailey in the backfield. As they look to go Gaines, he gets his speed outside. Looks to take on the safety. For a shorter guy, he packs a punch. Down to the 32 as Harris checks back in, this time with Gaines in the backfield, though it's the air that they want to go. Pressure and planting Kelsey in the backfield is Casey Brommel. Those are the kind of hits you most definitely do not want your quarterback taking. Losing 5 on first down. As they look to set up a screen here, it's out to Harris. He's got a couple blockers in front. Picking up 2 blocks, you got Wilson. That'll give you a far more manageable 3rd down. They pick up 10, leaving 5 more needed. And an early jump. This should be a free play. Rolling to the outside and throwing a little bit too far inside. With some tremendous camera work, we can't even see who the penalty's on. But we know that it was an early jump. So a 1st and 10 here, Kent State. With 21 seconds at the 21. Lofting this one a little bit too much. They had the end zone, and now they have Jeff Mahoney starting center down on the field. He's one of the only returning offensive linemen for Kent State last season, so hopefully he's able to bounce back. As Delaware brings the blitz, Harris tries to extend but gets taken down. Ultimately, that will carry us to the end of the quarter. We are currently up 7-0. The passing game came up with 103 yards there in the first quarter. Coach challenged them for 253 touchdowns. They have a chance to put him in that suit and tie. But if they're to find him putting on that tie, they've got to complete this 3rd and 14 with 2 spread either side. Martin in the backfield with Kelsey. And pressure builds, and pressure will hit home. Anthony Crenshaw Jr., the senior linebacker. And that well backs up Kent State. With a transfer kicker with a strong leg, he will boot it right down the middle. What a kick. David Olano hits from 54 yards away. For Delaware at home, they find themselves down 2 scores. We get the second quarter really underway here. Looking to go for the pass, but no one is open. However, getting to the outside is Brown. Said he could scramble, and that he does. And on top of it, he gets down cleanly, picking up 8 at 2nd and 2 as they bring the blitz yet again. This time making contact, Tellender. Fortunately for Kent State, that's a little bit of sweet and sour as he's out there in the nickel lineup. As Syed Abu Hamde suffered a pretty big injury last week, but getting to the outside and picking up the first down is Tyree. Coach Ty got aggressive there, but he sent the blitz inside. The handoff went outside. And wide open, but the pressure forces an errant throw. Tyree nearly had the opportunity to pick up at least another first down, but forces 2nd and 10. At the 39 as they look to set up a screen to the outside. Spyler read well, but breaks the tackle of Howard, spins by another, and will have the first. That's why he's averaging just shy of 5 yards a carry. He does not give up. The 1st and 10 about midfield. They go right back to him, breaking a second tackle of Howard. Stock still had enough. A kneecap shot is good enough to bring him down. Hennessy will check in. His first carry, and he gets shouldered. Of course, we saw Gill do that several times last game, but that time it was his tag team partner in Harris. 3rd and short, and another short conversion. It's a second catch for Tyree. And it's 11 yards for him in total. Now they have an offensive lineman playing some slot receiver out here. Hopefully he checked in his number, as Stockstill just gave up a chunk of numbers, down the numbers. Kelly popping up with a big catch. And inside 5 minutes, it's a red zone trip here for the Blue Hens. Spyler with space, shakes one, but not going to get by Cordoba. A one-on-one tackling here for Kent State does leave a little bit to be desired. But a goal line set as they go with a toss outside. Hennessy working his way out there, but that ball is free. Diving on top of it, Kent State, as long as this play stands, recovers Stockstill. We'll definitely have to take a second look. All turnovers are reviewed. But Hennessy, the true freshman running back, might have just coughed that one up. It was Martell Buchanan credited forcing that fumble. And that look is not promising for Kent State. But as we step on out here, there is no review coming in. So motion for the Golden Flashes. That's carrying from right to left. Doing the backfield is play action. As they give up not a safety, but Mason Kelsey gets up a bit shaken up inside his own inch line. And that is very important for this offense as Tomlinson steps out. He's not a runner. And running some triple option is not going to help out. But a gash for the fullback. Bailey nearly takes it all. Ultimately, a smart call there from Coach Ty to get that quick handoff. Down a weak interior here for the Blue Hen defense. Passing left side is dropped. And that will be a punt forced. No points for Kent State off the turnover, but they do keep points off the board for Delaware in a 10-0 ball game. We're inside about 3.5 minutes. Spyler taken down by Tellender. Of anyone on this defense, Tellender is the one who's not going to give up the most amount of broken tackles. He is a pure run stopper. As he meets him again in the gap. This time, though, it's for a loss. 3rd and 11. With trips to the left-hand side, one to the right, and the corners and DBs back up. Brown has time to throw this one outside. He completes the pass to Kelly, but shy. And it does look like it will be a punt. But with just about 2 minutes to play, Kelsey returns to the field for Kent State. And he's got motion from the left-hand side, looking to roll out that way, and takes a shot towards the sideline, but Martin couldn't find it. Do like seeing him back out on that field, though. This time he goes spread out to the left-hand side. It's Harris behind center. As he looks for the keeper here, Delaware's all over that Wildcat attempt. With that, they called their first timeout with a 3rd and 14 back just about at the 20. Harrison Bailey in the backfield with Kelsey. As they look to set up a screen to the left-hand side. Picking up the blocks, one to beat, and Harris tried to spin him out rather than just running forward. And that appears to have cost him a chance at converting. So a 1st and 10, it's back over to Delaware. After a strong start here for Kent State, their offense has cooled down. That is with their quarterback now a little bit shaken up. Meanwhile, Delaware came close to the end zone once, but fumbled, arguably. Brown throws and broken up. It's timed well by Tellender, but I don't think the referees agree. They're going to get him with DPI. I don't think there's much more you could have asked for there from Tellender. Responding to the routes, crashing well, maybe getting there a split second early at the most, and a throwaway this time from Brown. We'll say I'm sure Coach Ty a little bit disappointed right now in the pass rush coming from this group against this kind of offensive line. But the throw outside makes it 3rd and short. And it will look to be hurry up here for the Blue Hens. With trips look to the left-hand side again, that offensive lineman playing some receiver. Brown under pressure as he gets hit by 2. Cordoba gets there first. And the diving defensive lineman in fall helps ensure the fall of Brown. With that play coming in from the defense, it will send us to halftime. 10-0. Offense started hot and have slowed down. Meanwhile, the defense has played pretty consistently throughout. Tank Hawkins has the only touchdown on the day. 4 targets, 2 grabs, and 67 yards. But the offense right now is not close to getting Coach Ty into that tie. But the defense can help us out if we continue to get those stops, get the offense rolling, and what looks to be with Tomlinson leading us into the second half. But to begin said second half, it will be defense out first. The quick throw, Delaware, they find Tyree, but Cordoba's on him instantly. Well, we've talked about being the overdogs in this one. I still like what I'm seeing from some of these young defenders. 2nd and 10. As again, they set up the underneath route. It's the screen this time, picking up a few. And has them primed up for another quick stop on defense with a 3rd and 7. Brown, though, making some adjustments. Look to be pointing out at Tellender. As he looks deep downfield, stock still, breaks up the deep ball. Overall, quite a big difference from last year where Boma got shredded down that side. But starting about midfield here, Harris backing up with a loss of 3. Anthony Crenshaw with another play in the backfield over on that right-hand side, rocking that 2-1. As Tomlinson throws, he finds Hopperton, and he's got a good chunk. That does still leave us behind the chains a little bit here with a 3rd and 4. With the pistol ace set, it's Tomlinson in at quarterback. And he'll throw back across the middle to tight end 2. It's Taylor, his second grab today. Coach Ty's talked a little bit about getting him more involved in the offense, and today already more receptions than he's had all season. Fortunately for Harris, it's coming with lesser success in the rushing game today. Back there as well as Gaines as he takes the handoff, and it's going to be behind the line. Delaware has played well coming from the edges. Could use a bit more push down the middle. They'll have to complete here. Under pressure, Tomlinson loses a big chunk, and now you're staring at another long field goal attempt. But Alano hit from 54. This one, 56, and he hit from distance last time. And he hits from distance this time. Tacking on 3 more here for Kent State. We've got a 13-0 ball game about midway through the 3rd. Well, I'm sure Coach Ty is appreciating the fact that right now, not a worry about having to put on that tie. But he also must not be too happy with the performance of the offense despite being up 13. Facing the lowest graded defense that they will face all season, the offense is still struggling out there. With an RPO, they find that extra lineman / tight end. Though Cade Wentworth, one of their starting O-linemen, seems to be down on the play, so the tight end might have to work his way to the line. Now, he is listed as a tight end. Seems to be perhaps a little bit of an emergency tight end here. As they load up to go deep, Rollison in the back of the end zone. It's not Rollison, it's Gill. Rollison seemingly getting lost with the sun in his eyes. His safety teammate had to come over to help break that one up. It's 2nd and 10. As they look for the quick hitter, broken up Howard. That's one of the few times this year Kent State has actually broken up a pass. And it leaves 3rd and 10 here for Brown and the Blue Hens. As he will look to go to the air here. Tomlinson drops back into coverage. They throw short, and all over him is Cordoba. The defense continues to lock down Delaware, but Delaware's doing a pretty good job on defense as well, keeping this game close. Though Harris has space, another gash for him. If the line can continue to open up gaps like that, we can find ourselves well ahead here in the closing minutes of this game. But we still got a bit over a quarter to go. Harris with space. He's got the left sideline at the 50, 40, 30, one defender, and he hits the brakes on him, but Ali is prepared to bring him down. Flipping the field, though, goes Harris. We said earlier he may not hit big runs consistently, but he's going to be good for about 2 to 3 a game. Down to the opposite 16. Gaines checks into the backfield to give him a breather, as it's going to be end around. Hawkins using that speed to get all the way outside, but he has to go deep into the backfield. He only gets 5+. Times like that is where having the 97 speed very much helps out. Now Harris checks back in after his breather. As they go with a draw, he cuts to the right, breaks one, but quickly help arrives. The 3rd and 7. It's a bunch look to the left-hand side here. Tomlinson having to convert another down. He throws underneath. That's carrying. Trying to carry us towards the goal line. He fights in between those tackle attempts and has us down for goal to go inside the 4. And it's hurry up here. Bunch now over to the right-hand side. Quick throw. Hawkins spun away from the end zone. And they're actually going to mark him back at the 4. I don't think these referees have ever heard of forward progress. I don't know how you even say that out there, but apparently that's just what it is. So we've got 2nd and goal inside 15 seconds here. And throwing this one outside. This time we will have it. Hopperton tight end 1 with the touchdown, and we have now 2 passing touchdowns on the day. That is Coach Ty checking with his statistician. 162 passing yards. They need just about 90 more. But before we can worry about that, the offense stays on the field here. They're up 19. I guess they want 21. Tomlinson, spread empty look. He throws incomplete. High and away from Rodgers. But with just 9 seconds to spare here in the 3rd, the Blue Hens take the field down at 19. Their tight end comes in motion into the backfield. They do hand it off. Speiler, now he's got some space. Still fighting forward. Thompson eventually rips him down. Will be damage done. A good play to end the 3rd there from Delaware, but they have got to find a way to finish one of these drives. They came close once, coughed up that ball. It's arguable on if it was a fumble or not, but no review came in. Kent State took over and took away a chance at points. With just 9 minutes to spare here, you don't have opportunities to let slip by you anymore. As it's a keeper here from Brown, he looks to get his 73 speed outside, and he's got 9. He's ran the ball only twice here today, but both times has been for about 9 yards. The 2nd and 1. Plus side. Brown under pressure. That ball is down. Diving on top of it, though, is the running back, Hennessy. Buchanan with a 2nd forced fumble. I think Coach Ty might have a standout here in the linebacker group, and he's also taking over for the injured Abu Hamde. 3rd and 10, and here comes the big fella down the middle, Mason Maddox. Kent State looks to close out another defensive drive. But 4th and 16, the offense stays on the field, down 19. As they look to send 4 verts, and guess who's back? It's Thompson, his 2nd sack of the game. And it's about time that we start to see some good pass rush from this team. We take over plus side inside the 35, motioning across his carrying, snapping that ball with a 2nd to spare. And it will be Harris for 4. That leaves him 4 yards shy of the century mark. And he's in the backfield here with 2 spread to the left-hand side. Bailey going to come in motion into the backfield to his fullback spot. Following behind him, he's got space. Harris over 100, the stiff arm, but cannot polish it off. 4 takes him out at the 5. But Harris looking to close this one out. The goal line set here. 1st and goal. They go right back to Harris. Oh, he's stonewalled. I'm sure he could use with a little bit of a breather, but he stays on the field here. He wants that touchdown. Motion coming in from the left-hand side. That's Tank Hawkins. They're going to try him again with a big block on the edge from the tackle, and Tank Hawkins has the end zone. We finally cracked 20 in this one. 25, make it 26 with the point after. We have an offensive lineman to give a shout out to. We've got Baldwin over at right tackle, and while he may have been confused out the gate, safety steps down and he lights him up. Hawkins able to then just take it, show off his speed and shiftiness. We've got a 26-point lead. We still have some time in this one, and I'm sure the offense would love that ball back. With Tellender picking up a quick stop there, they are one step closer to getting that ball back, because they need some passing yards to try to close this game out, even though the game very much looks in hand. Tyree shoved out Rollison. That does leave 3rd and 7 here. Defense has been pretty good with 5 or more. As they flood the right side of the field, they're looking downfield. It's stock still, breaking up yet another. He may not be getting picks. We'll take the broken up passes. As the offense takes the field, they still stand here at 162 passing yards, so they need 90 more with just about 4.5 minutes to go. And it's play action, throwing, hooking up with Taylor. He's got another catch. The tight end, too, putting in work today for Kent State. With the up and down play we've seen from Hopperton, you got to wonder if perhaps coach is wondering if there's a change that needs to be made. Hawkins can't squeeze it. Looked like the pass also came in a little bit behind. Put it out in front and let the speed carry to open field, and Tomlinson would have another passing touchdown. Instead, it's tight end to Taylor. Jeff Mahoney, though, down again. He came back in this game, was injured earlier. It appears to just be too much of a nagging injury for him, so once again, he will exit the field of play with a 3rd and 4. Tomlinson will look to go to the air. Dropped Hopperton. That's really not going to help you out if you're trying to keep a starting spot here. Tomlinson and the offense stay on the field. It's 4th down, and they throw quick. Broken up with a big play maul. They don't want to see Coach Ty in a tie here either. Frankly, it would just be a little bit weird. But the defense forces the turnover on downs, and Brown is back with that ball. As he has an open target outside, it's the tight end. Fighting, but Tellender's not going to give up. Bitco, though, picks up the 1st down for Delaware. To the 32-yard line, they come out with twins to the left-hand side, one to the right. Quick throw out that way. And a good job from Stockstill to bring him down in open field. Tackling at the beginning of this game was a little bit rough. It's good to see it clean up as the game has gone along. A 2nd and 4. And again, open outside. Big boy tight end does not break away, though Blake Brown is down in the backfield celebrating the catch, but he looks to be making his way to the sideline. Well, now that's both starting quarterbacks out of this game, with the game very much in hand. Speiler down the middle, stuffed. Only picking up 2, it's 2nd and 8. As we're inside 2.5 minutes to go here. Backup quarterback fires and hooks up with his target. First completion for Figueroa, but as we head through the 2-minute break, Brown steps back into the field with a quick handoff and a bit of a burst down the middle. Economy, he finds 5, but then quickly exits. Haven't seen much from him, just a couple carries in this one. Spiller, though, showing some shiftiness. Stockstill, he wants a 3rd down, and he forces it with a quick stop prior to the line to gain. But Hennessy, with some shiftiness, he's got the gap, and there goes the shutout. Goose egg dropped inside a minute to go. 26-7. Blue Hens get on the board. Well, this game could be done there. 77 yards away from the end zone and 63 yards away from putting Coach Ty in a tie. They head out and chuck this one deep for Hawkins, and they will have it. Another one for Kent State. Break out the tie for Coach Ty. That's 3 receiving touchdowns on the day and over 250 through the air. Tomlinson steps in at quarterback here in the second half, and he let that ball fly with a little bit more success rate than we've had all season long. And for Tank Hawkins, it's his biggest game and is a clear showing of why Coach Ty looked to bring him in. He takes player of the game with 4 catches, 3 touchdowns, and a $144. And that was both done through the air as well as on the ground. Overall, this is more of the showing you had to expect stepping into this game with the decimated Delaware roster. Kent State came up big in the second half. They just got to look to build on it. And we also land our first MAC Defensive Player of the Week for this season, and it is Martell Buchanan. Only had a handful of plays out there, but he forced 2 fumbles, had 3 tackles in the process. We aren't stopping on defense. Tank Hawkins takes our first ever Offensive Player of the Week for the MAC with his standout performance. We already saw the stats earlier. Well, that does mean for Coach Ty, we've got to break out that tie and button up with the shorts as we return to Kent State next time, facing the Chippewas, the team we had our fair share of struggles against last season. This year, we are very similar in overall. These defenses evened up. Their offense is favored, and that has them just slightly being favored. We will be the underdog yet again. But if we can come through, if Tank Hawkins can put that speed to use, the passing game can help us out, then we are well on our way as we look to get some action underway next time. As it stands right now, Toledo and Ohio are the only 2 teams to play a conference game, so the conference standings really don't matter. What does matter is the health of our players, and from what it looks like, we have recovered well in between weeks, so all the starters will be back outside of Abu Hamde. But Buchanan played well, so did Tellender. We need Kelsey to perform a little bit more. Now, the struggle with him is his arm is pretty much capped. It can get stronger, but the accuracies will not improve, and it's the accuracies that are slowing him down. But in the meantime, we have Quincy Anunwa, who has a higher upside with that arm. But right now, playing time is a massive concern from him. So he's one of the players that may look to transfer, which means we are running pretty light at quarterback. Tomlinson also is one who may look to transfer as well, leaving us with just 1 quarterback in Kelsey. With the playing time, pretty good for him. He's a starting quarterback. Speaking of transferring, that leads us into recruiting, where we do have 2 guys here up at the top, 2 of our 3 stars who are making really good progress with. And I am very happy to say we actually have a really good pitch for both of them. Now, for Ari Cookus, who is a right edge or just edge player for us, it's all solid. We know everything we need to know there, so we've got the hard sell coming in on the clutch. We don't know necessarily for Steven Natson. We are going clutch with him, but there is also another one that has proximity to home. So hopefully, even if this one is wrong, it is just for 1 week, and we still have a good enough lead on everyone else to stay well in front. We do also have our first visit scheduled, and that is with Cookus. Everyone else, we have very little points. So we're sprinkling it across. We are making some progress, but it is slow progress with a lot of these guys. But we are in first for almost everybody that we are going after outside of Emmanuel Komar. It's basically neck and neck, slightly in favor of Iowa State. But right now, we're in the race. We're going to try to keep it as close as we can. We don't have the extra points to try to put in here, even though we may potentially have a good sell on our hands. It would have to be a soft sell. We just don't have the extra points right now unless we take points off of someone entirely. We're not going to look to do that. We are down to 1 other person, as I just noticed here, in Corbin McNulty, one of the tight ends, but for the other tight end, we are well in front. But next time on Monday, we will take the field back at home. And that one for us will be a evening/night game. So I think we break out the all-black unis for the first time this season. And to make sure you don't miss it, if you have not already, hit the bear icon in the bottom right or scroll down, hit the sub button, and tap that bell icon so you get notified when all these videos go live and all my other series videos go live. We'll be back with the normal scheduled series next week. No live streams next week, but I will let you know if we do ever have to pop one of those in to just help fill in the schedule for the hectic life behind the scenes. But I appreciate you all being here. Leave Coach Ty some love, as he needs all the support he can get right now, because he's going to have to wear a button-up and tie next game. because the offense, the passing game finally showed up for Kent State.